Well, good morning. I'm Jagendra Rana. Topic of the day is unpacking the moratorium clause. Unpacking the moratorium clause. The fatal shooting of Brian Thompson, who was chief executive of United Health Group Inc.'s insurance arm, has turned the spotlight on insurance companies rejecting policyholders' claims for various reasons. In India, insurance laws offers policyholders a powerful tool. They can invoke if insurance companies reject their claims arbitrarily. But it may still require some running around before getting insurance companies to pay up. Take the case of Kolkata-based Sabita Mukherjee, who had been hospitalized due to a respiratory tract infection. First, the insurer did not approve the cashless claim and later rejected the reimbursement claim, saying hospitalization was not necessary. Had paid more than 7 premiums in the policy. She paid more than 7 premiums in the policy. However, as per the moratorium clause for health insurance policies as defined by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, if a policyholder has paid 5 or more annual premiums, an insurance company cannot reject the claim even if they had not disclosed a pre-existing disease or any other important information. No policy and claim of health insurance shall be contestable on any grounds of non-disclosures and or misrepresentation except for established fraud. So after the completion of the moratorium period, that is 60 months of continuous coverage, read section 13 of chapter 1 of the Master Circulars on IRDAI Insurance Products Regulations 2024, Health Insurance. So in life insurance, if a policyholder has consistently paid 3 annual premiums, an insurance company cannot reject a claim on grounds of misstatement or non-disclosures or even fraud. So no insurer shall repudiate a life insurance policy on the ground of fraud if the insured beneficiary can prove that the misstatement was true to the best of his knowledge and there was no deliberate intention to surpass the fact, or that such misstatement of or suppression of material fact are within the knowledge of the insurer. States the Insurance Laws Amendment Act 2015. In health insurance, an insurer can contest a claim on grounds of fraud even after 5 years. So one should not misread the moratorium clause. When you buy a policy, you must declare your health conditions in totality. If you had a major disease which would have caused the insurance company to reject your policy proposals in the first place, they can reject your claim even after 5 years are over, and rightfully so. So the moratorium clause is valid only if an insurer has rejected your claim for a non-critical disease. The moratorium clause came to the aid of insured after she reached out to Insurance Samadhan, an insurance grievance redressal company. So they often receive such cases on health insurance where the moratorium period is over, but the insurer still rejects the claim, classifying it as fraud. So that insured's claim was finally approved when they emphasized on the moratorium clause and the fact that the doctor advised hospitalization. The years specified under the moratorium clause applies even when a policyholder reports a policy to another insurer. So the accrued credit gained under the ported and migrated policy shall be counted for the purpose of calculating the moratorium period. IRDAI stated in its circular, For example, if you have paid 2 annual premiums for a health insurance policy and then opted it to another insurer, you only have to pay 3 more annual premiums to complete the moratorium period. However, if you increase the insurance cover in the ported policy, the moratorium period will start afresh on the increased sum insured. If you had a cover of rupees 10 lakh in the original health insurance policy and rupees 30 lakh in the period policy and the ported policy, so the original rupees 10 lakh cover will have a remaining moratorium period of 3 years, and the additional rupees 20 lakh will have a 5-year moratorium period. Also, if you include a no claim bonus of say rupees 10 lakh in the ported policy, the new 5-year moratorium will apply only to rupees 10 lakh. The moratorium period in health insurance used to be 8 years but was reduced to 5 years in May 2024. So Section 45 of the Insurance Act 1938 states that no life insurance policy shall be called in question on any grounds whatsoever after the expiry of 3 years from the date of the policy. That is, from the date of issuance of the policy, the date of commencement of risk, the date of revival of the policy, or the date of the rider to the policy, whichever is later. The difference between the moratorium clause in life and health is that claim in the latter can be denied on the grounds of fraud, but not in the former. However, insurance companies still find ways around this. Madhya Pradesh-based Kabir Zaidi's father had bought life insurance policy from multiple insurers, including 2 policies of rupees 25 crore each from Life Insurance Corporation of India and private insurer. LIC cleared the claim for Zaidi's father, but the private insurer denied payment, stating that the policyholder had not disclosed information about the LIC policy. So my father, according to Zaidi, my father had disclosed details of every single insurance policy to the insurer, including the one taken from LIC, and yet the claim was rejected. I approached the consumer court, but it did not help. I plan to re-appeal, said Zaidi. To be sure, Jadi's father had bought the policy from the private life insurer in 2014. So the amendment to the Insurance Act happened in 2015, before which insurers could reject claims even after 3 years in case of fraud. Since private insurers, have categorized Jadi's case as a fraud, they said the amendment is not valid, but it is valid. I must emphasize that it is not a fraud claim either, said Sanjay Dubar. So this is something which is to be clear in the minds. Basically, what is the moratorium period in health insurance? Let us understand. A moratorium period is a fixed time after which coverage or claims can no longer be denied to policyholders on grounds of non-disclosure of fraud unless otherwise proven by the insurer. So as of April 1st, 2024, IRDAI had set the period to be 5 years. This means that if an individual has been covered by a health policy for 60 months or more, the insurer cannot reject a claim due to non-disclosure or unless fraud is proven. So cases of portability and migration will also be included in this 60 months time frame without any break or lapses. The insurers often contest questions and disclosures during the proposal stage when it comes to chronic illnesses for pre-existing conditions like diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, etc. They also scrutinize these disclosures and cross-check them with any commentary on discharge summary made by the policyholders treating doctor at the time of claims. So any conflicting evidence or inconsistencies in information in the disclosure can lead to disputes during claim settlement. Once the moratorium period is over, insurers lose the right to reject claims on these grounds unless they can prove fraud or misrepresentation. Basically, according to Section 17 of the Indian Contract Act of 1872, fraud encompasses several fraudulent acts perpetrated by a party to a contract or by their representatives or with their cooperation with the aim to mislead another party or persuade them to enter into a contract. These acts include making a promise without any intention of following through with it, making a misleading suggestion as reality by someone who does not think it is true, or actively hiding a truth by someone who knows or regards it to be true, any omission or act that the law declares to be fraudulent, or any other act focused on deceiving. Now the question is, what is the purpose of moratorium period in health insurance? The moratorium period in health insurance acts as a safety net for policyholders and also encourages honesty when applying for a policy. Policyholders are more likely to disclose their medical history during the policy application process. Also, medical insurance moratorium period also establishes a strict time frame after which insurers cannot contest a claim filed by policyholders without valid proof. So this level of transparency helps the insurance providers and policyholders accurately assess risk and choose the right health insurance policy at the time of purchase. So the waiting period applies to all kinds of medical coverage within the health policy, regardless of pre-existing medical conditions. It can differ depending on the specific health policy, but might cover treatments such as specific surgeries or outpatient department consultations. These details are outlined in the health policy documents. The moratorium period is a set of waiting period, 5 years in India, after which insurance claims cannot be contested by the insurance providers. It is also referred to as a look-back period. So when you are purchasing a policy, ensure to disclose all information you know. Use email or extra paper to add any additional information and ensure to keep record of all information. When you already have an insurance policy, if you know about any non-disclosure, inform the insurance provider promptly. Holding on to a health insurance policy with undisclosed information can be detrimental. This is because you should know what your insurance claims will be questioned. So this year the IRDAI has reduced the moratorium period in health insurance from 8 years to 5 years. So once the moratorium period of an active health insurance policy ends, the insurance company cannot deny any claim covered by the health insurance policy or health policy except in the case of fraud. The IRDAI stated that after a health insurance plan has had coverage for a continuous 5 years, including migration and portability, the insurance provider cannot contest the policy and only claim on grounds of misrepresentation and non-disclosure. However, it can on grounds of fraud. So navigating the moratorium period demands diligence and proactive communication on the part of policyholders when buying a health policy. Make sure that you provide complete and accurate information during the application process. Disclose all relevant information about your lifestyle, medical history, and all the pre-existing health conditions to avoid potential problems during the health insurance claim process. If you come across any omissions or discrepancies in your health policy documents, promptly notify your insurance provider to rectify the situation. Honesty and transparency is vital to maintain a positive relationship with your insurance provider and to ensure that your coverage remains effective and valid. So health insurance works by the insurance provider evaluating your risk and the chances of you making an insurance claim. They depend on information you provide, such as your medical history, lifestyle, age, etc., to determine how much insurance premium you will be charged for your coverage. So a moratorium period in health insurance is essential to maintain a balanced risk pool and ensure fair health insurance premiums for everyone. After the 5 years moratorium in health insurance, insurance companies cannot reject claims because of undisclosed information. However, you must remember that honesty is essential when providing information to insurance providers, as misrepresentation can still result in claim rejection. So, by staying honest and uninformed about all health insurance terms, you can ensure that the insurance you purchase from insurers remains effective and reliable. Hopefully, this guide has helped you understanding moratorium meaning in health insurance. Thank you very much.